You're watching Mirror 7 News. Stay informed, stay ahead for more news.
Sunday turned into a marathon for basketball fans, with more than 8 hours of WNBA playoff action packed into one day. It had everything you'd want: an overtime thriller, 2 teams dropping more than 100 points, MVP candidates putting on a show, and 4 opening round battles that moved us closer to the championship. After Game 1, Minnesota, New York, Atlanta, and Las Vegas each hold a 1-game lead in their best-of-3 series, which means Tuesday and Wednesday could be decision days. Let's break down how their opponents, Indiana, Seattle, Phoenix, and Golden State, can avoid elimination in Game 2. Starting with the Atlanta Dream and Indiana Fever, Game 1 showed a Dream squad that looked energized and confident. Playing in the postseason at home for the first time since 2018, Atlanta had 4 players scoring in double figures, with Ryan Howard and Alicia Gray leading the way with 20 points apiece. They pushed the pace, controlled the paint, and defended with 6 blocks. For Indiana, the absence of Caitlin Clark was glaring. Kelsey Mitchell carried the scoring load with little support, while Aaliyah Boston and Natasha Howard both fell short of their usual production. For the Fever to survive, more players will need to step up offensively, otherwise their season could end quickly. Moving west, the defending champion Las Vegas Aces looked every bit like a team chasing another title. They rolled past the Seattle Storm with balance and efficiency. Aja Wilson poured in 29 points in just over 30 minutes, while 5 other players reached double digits. Becky Hammon spread out minutes across her roster, a strategy that could pay off in a long playoff run. Seattle wasn't without bright spots. Gabby Williams scored 16, and rookie Dominique Malonga impressed with a double-double in her playoff debut. But for the Storm to push this series further, veterans Nneka Ogwumike and Skylar Diggins must play at a higher level. In New York, the Liberty and Phoenix Mercury delivered one of the most thrilling games of the postseason so far. The matchup featured 15 lead changes and 12 ties, with Natasha Cloud and Kalia Copper showing their championship pedigree. Ultimately, the Liberty had fresher legs in overtime and closed it out. For Phoenix, head coach Nate Tibbetts will need to design more varied late-game options. Alyssa Thomas drove into the paint twice in the closing seconds of regulation and was stopped both times. With other stars like Copper, Satu Sabali, and Dewana Bonner available, Phoenix can't afford to be predictable again in Game 2. Finally, the Minnesota Lynx showed why depth matters in the playoffs. Against the Golden State Valkyries, Minnesota had 5 players score in double digits, with Nafisa Collier leading at 20 points. Even when foul trouble hit their starters, the Lynx bench contributed 42 points, keeping momentum alive. Golden State, meanwhile, leaned heavily on their starters, with their bench adding just 17 points. That's not the formula that carried them into the postseason. If the Valkyries want to extend the series, they'll need to trust their depth and let their bench play a bigger role. So as Game 2 approaches, 4 teams stand at the edge. If adjustments aren't made, Tuesday and Wednesday could send the Fever, Storm, Mercury, and Valkyries packing. But if they find a way to flip the script, we could be looking at decisive Game 3 showdowns later this week. Stay subscribed for more videos.